And this is some breaking news which is coming in from the Supreme Court of India, which has allowed the BCCI plea to modify the mandatory cooling off clause for the board administration. Now they can have a maximum of 12 years at one go at BCCI and the state association. SC order will enable Saurav Ganguly and Jay Shah to have longer tenures at the BCCI. Now, you'd remember that the constitution of the BCCI was rewritten under the aegis of the Supreme Court appointed panel. Ananya Bhatnagar with us on the broadcast. Ananya, why these changes?
Well, yes, remember that the Board of Cricket Control of India, that is the BCCI, had knocked the doors of the Supreme Court seeking to make certain amendments to its constitution, particularly with regards to the cooling off period. That is, a cooling off period basically means when a president or a secretary at a particular point has served at for a stipulated time at the state association, then comes for BCCI in the board of directors of BCCI, then there is a cooling off period that is there for which he cannot sustain this particularly. But now this particular amendment has been made, and remember that this would be having a bearing on the terms of Mr. Saurav Ganguly and also Jay Shah. So very, very significant order coming in from a bench headed by Justice D.Y. Chanchur and Justice Seema Kohli. Remember that yesterday when the matter was being heard, Justice Chanchur had advised the amicus curiae with senior advocate Maninder Singh, former ASG as well, to in fact hold a meeting with all the stakeholders to draft change, to in fact create a draft of amendment that has been done to the BCCI's constitution. Remember that in 2017, Supreme Court had passed a very lengthy judgment with regards to to redefine the constitution of the Board of Cricket Control in India, and has now also again made a small change to the constitution, which now enables office bearer of the BCCI, particularly the president and the secretary, to continue for 12 years in one go, whether it's a state association or the BCCI.
Yes.
Now they can continue for at least 12 years at a stretch, and then would have to undergo in fact a cooling off period. So now this would directly have a bearing on the terms of Mr. Saurav Ganguly and Jay Shah into this particular case. A very, very significant order coming in from the two judges bench of the Supreme Court by the number 2 Justice D.Y. Chanchur.
A betting scandal had started a litigation in the Supreme Court and the Justice Lodha panel. Under the then Chief Justice of India, T.S. Thakur, had rewritten the constitution of BCCI to ensure that the game is run smoothly. And today, these changes are directly going to impact the tenure of Saurav Ganguly and Jay Shah. Critical changes in the constitution of the BCCI. That and much more on the other side of a quick break.